going to the ladder here.
Extra bullets now. I just have what's in my magazines.
I died? What the
I saw that.
Come back to life. It respawned me way over here, and I have nothing on me. That's cool. The heck? Like, literally none of them are mad at me. Are you watching this? Something about you quitting out just broke their AI. I see him at the end there. Can I? Oh, I can get around. I'm taking damage. I'm stuck in the water. This is very... And I died. That's really cool. This game is such a buggy piece of shit. I hate making videos like this. I think the last time I made a video like this was for Bone Lab. I still consider Boneworks to be the best VR game ever made, so I was hyped for Bone Lab, and then it ended up being disappointing. In a similar fashion, Into the Radius 1 is the best Stalker-like experience I've ever played. You take a genre that's already incredibly immersive and then you chuck it into VR? That's just a recipe for success. It just makes sense that you're able to pull your backpack off and organize all your items right then and there. It makes sense that your easy-to-access weapons will be limited by the holsters physically on your body. It's so cool to have to pull out an artifact detector, point it around, and physically see where it is. And it just makes sense, so you'd have to physically load your magazine with the boxes of ammo. Into the Radius 1 does all of this flawlessly, especially after years of patches. But Into the Radius 2 is one of the most janky, frustrating experiences I've ever had, even more so than what you would expect from an early access game. I'm radioactive. Did you expect me not to glow in a place like this? Okay, elephant's foot out of the room. Yes, this is an early access title, but early access title doesn't necessarily mean the game is going to be broken and completely unplayable. I've played a lot of early access titles that have been some of the best experiences all year. Into the Radius 2 is hardly even functional, and I would excuse some of this if it wasn't for the price. They're asking $40 for a barely functional early access title with almost no content. This makes no sense whatsoever. Every other early access title is going to give you 50% off for buying into the game early. Into the Radius 2 should cost no more than 20 or 25 bucks, and then when the full game comes out, it should cost 40. Instead, it costs 40 now, and when 1.0 launches, it's still going to cost 40. So why would I waste my time and money playing a broken game that's the same price as the full launch? And again, I hate being so harsh here, because I loved the first game, and the devs clearly care, but they should have left this one in the oven. I feel like they launched it early to try to beat Stalker 2, but even then, Into the Radius 2 would offer something that Stalker 2 can't: VR. Now, before you get angry that I'm talking about a VR game in general, because for some reason gamers have been doing that lately, I saw a recent announcement of an Aliens VR game, and half the comments were people mad that it was VR because they don't have VR. VR is not just a gimmick, and it's not actually that expensive anymore. You can find Quest 2s for $200. If you already have a gaming PC, $200 to buy into a gaming platform that already has tons of really good games is a pretty fair price. I've been playing VR games since 2019. I think I've gotten 5 years of fun out of it now. I can definitely justify the purchase of my index. And I spent a lot more than just $200. Half-Life Alyx, Boneworks, Vertigo 1 and 2, there's just so many good games on VR now. And if you watch this channel, you probably like Half-Life style experiences, and all of them basically went to VR. It just naturally works. It also naturally works with Stalker experiences, so you could play Into the Radius 1, which is a fantastic experience I would highly recommend. But that just leads me right back to Into the Radius 2, which may be good within a year, and this video may age like milk, and I hope it does. So here's the format of Into the Radius 2. You launch into a main base. This base has the barracks, which you can sleep and pass forward time, a shower where if you shower it will heal you, an armory where you can store weapons on the wall, a shop where you can sell and shop for new items, and a room where you can select and turn in missions. Once you're stocked up and ready to go, you leave this base and select one of 2 locations. Yes, there's only 2 locations as of right now. In the world, these missions are usually just go check out this place and see what's going on, read the text to get more information about it, or pick up an item and bring it back to the base. And that's it. That's literally the whole gameplay as of right now. There's not even a story. Again, early access, that will be coming later, but just so you know what you're getting into. I already don't like this new method of travel because it takes away a lot of immersion. In the original Into the Radius, it just felt like one big open map that you could always be traversing. That wasn't technically the case, but it didn't break your immersion. In Into the Radius 2, you find yourself fast traveling back and forth a lot between 3 locations. the base, peninsula, and forest. And the limited locations made it really frustrating because it feels like there's a missing location in between them. You see, the way this game works is that when you complete a mission, you get security points. Get enough security points, you get upgraded to the next security level. This will give you access to new items and new weapons in the shop. And this is fine. The problem is, Peninsula, the first area you access, is pretty small and enemies are very basic. There's only 2 enemies. These weird shadow spider things, and human enemies with glowing eyes that can shoot back at you. You never fight more than 3, 4, 5 at most on Peninsula, and they don't have any armor. This feels like an area with the training wheels still on, but they're going hands-off, kind of like an extended tutorial. Forest is the total opposite of that. Everything is hands-off now. When it's dark in Forest, it's pitch black. You can't see a thing.
Can't see shit. Is that water? Okay, we can't go that way.
I'm basically surrounded by anomalies.
I thought I was out of the range of that. I guess I was not. Enemy.
I hear spider. Fucking where?
Right in front of you. Can't see shit because of these fucking anomalies. Sit still.
He's dead.
And now you're going to be fighting at least 10 human-style enemies at a time. And they have armor, and they have fully automatic weapons. And you get a lot of missions in Forest. As if that wasn't bad enough, the guns in this game feel awful. Seriously, it'll feel like you're shooting right at an enemy and just miss. Almost like these pistols are the least accurate weapons of all time. Oh, also, you can't turn the volume down for the weapons. For some reason, gunshots are always insanely loud, deafeningly so. Realistic, maybe, but I like my hearing. It's also obviously not intended because the volume changes everything else, it just doesn't affect gunfire, and combat in general is just not smooth. Picking things out of your vest is a pain in the ass. Sometimes it just straight up doesn't work. Reloading can be a pain because your controllers hit each other and it's really picky on where the magazine needs to go. It doesn't help that if you're looking straight, your vest will follow you left and right, but the moment you look down, the vest halts in place and will not rotate. That should be good in theory, but in execution, it's just a pain in the ass. I really wish more games adopted full body tracking, because when I turn my head, my whole body shouldn't turn with my head. A hip tracker would fix all of that, but I don't really expect games to do this, I just wish they would. So, yeah, big problem, the base game doesn't feel good to start with. And then you start finding all the bugs, or the bugs find you, instantly. Right away, the game may not even work for you. My co-op partner was having crashing issues left and right. At first, the game wouldn't even launch. As it turns out, it's not functional with some of Intel's CPUs. So in his case, the moment he launched the game, it would just instantly crash. If he finally got the game to launch, it would crash constantly as he was playing, virtually any time he tried to load. In my case, it thankfully did work, kind of, but at seemingly random, my frame rate would just explode and become unplayable.
Item search is in Forest. That's not the one we're doing. What?
Really?
Oh my god, lag?
Oh, it is Forest.
Why the f am I
think
lagging
it's
so hard?
Teacup counts here, so.
Quickly save in case I crash. Jesus Christ. What is going on? I don't know what happened. My frame rate suddenly just imploded on itself to the point of like basically being unplayable. Yeah, even the main menu is super laggy. Alright. Okay, my frame rate is back. Everything is good. You can rejoin.
The game didn't crash, but it functionally might as well. This was unplayable, I'd have to restart the game. On top of that, the main base map is horribly unoptimized. I don't know why. It's not bigger than the other maps, but for some reason it always lags. The game, for seemingly no reason, thinks everyone is taller than they actually are, making it near impossible to pick up things off of the ground. This is really frustrating. That's something you're going to be doing a lot. Now, there is a Half-Life Alyx style way where if you look at an item, you point at it, you press your trigger, then grab, it will pull it towards you. One, that's weird. Why trigger first? Why can't I just grab things? Two, it's inconsistent. Sometimes it just doesn't work, so you have to manually reach down and pick it up off the ground, and it's just not a functional VR game. Now, you may be saying, hey, there are fixes to get around that problem. If you're hovering above the ground, just use place-based mover so you can move yourself around. Perfect, right? Well, no, because it still detected the ground below me and thought I was crouching. And if you're crouching, you cannot sprint and you cannot jump.
I can't jump. Why can't I jump? I can't jump or crouch. Why? No, I know how to. It's not letting me, and it's not letting me crouch either. Like, I'm pressing it.
You're broken.
I wonder, hold up. It's because it thinks I'm crouching because I set my height lower.
I thought I would outsmart the game by standing on top of my bed and then using the in-game options to recalibrate my height, but it had the same problem. It thought I was crouching. And if you think you can just open OVR and adjust your floor height, you'd be wrong, because the game takes so much out of your computer that trying to open the Steam overlay just freezes the game. Again, basic stuff in this game just doesn't function as it should. I came across a lot of ultimately harmless bugs that were just confusing, like bullets randomly floating out of all of the boxes we've organized in the main bunker. This happened pretty much every single time we went back to the base. Other things are just confusing and made no sense whatsoever. If you put a gun on safety, which you can do in this game, and you cock the gun, you can't chamber it. Yeah, this is clearly cocking my gun despite the fact that it's on safety, which is normal, but it doesn't pick up a round. The first time this happened, I was really confused, because yeah, this should chamber the gun. If it was on safe, it would chamber the gun and not fire, but it just wouldn't chamber at all. There are other bugs, like trying to sell a story-important artifact breaks the sell machine until you travel and come back. It'll just gray out the sell button. And it's good that you can't sell a mission-important item, but breaking the machine shouldn't happen. If you try to turn in missions at the machine, it oftentimes will tell you the mission is not complete and you can't do it. You have to generally grab the item out of your bag and then it suddenly recognizes, oh wait, no, you actually did do the mission. Some missions have the wrong place selected. One of them told me to find stuff in Forest, but I actually needed to find the stuff in Peninsula, basically making it unbeatable until you realize that.
Item search. Find the distorted objects. So we got the teacup. That was the only one that was here.
Item search is in Forest. That's not the one we're doing.
What? Really?
Oh my god, lag?
Oh, it is Forest.
Why the
Climbing ladders has a 50-50 chance to kill you.
I died?
The ladder may splat you into the ground for no reason or launch you into the air. And no, I didn't die because of fall damage. Jumping down from the attic isn't high enough to hurt you here. The game just decided you're going to die now. Oh, but that is absolutely nothing compared to the tons of bugs that happen when you try to play it in co-op. For starters, co-op is supposed to be 4 players. However, for the early access release, it's only 2. I imagine the reason it's only 2 is because the frame rate gets significantly worse in co-op, especially when your co-op buddy is near you. In fact, the co-op experience is just downright miserable and really frustrating. Don't worry about that, it's just on fire. Everything is on host, so your co-op buddy really can't do anything. When enemies die, they just kind of vanish for the co-op player. As the host, you'll see them fly off into the sky as intended. You can't revive your teammate. This isn't a bug, but it is extremely stupid. Why? Let me use a syringe to stab them and bring them back. Let me slap them on the ass so they're back alive. I don't care, just let me be able to revive them. Instead, your option is they die, they respawn at the loading gate, and have to run all the way back over to you. This is incredibly frustrating because you have literally no gear. So, good luck walking all the way across Forest at night with no gear. To make things even better, when your co-op partner loads in, half the time he just randomly dies for no reason whatsoever and has to run all the way back over anyway.
We have...
I died.
What? Oh, cool. You're gonna have to run all the way back here and grab your stuff.
That's weird.
What?
Your stuff is floating, detached from your body. My stuff is gone.
Your stuff is right here for me. Here, let me try to pick it up.
Let me...
Yeah, your vest is right here.
It just teleported.
Well, I can fix it. Yeah, and you can't shoulder it like that. You have to grab the grip. This is a little bit janky.
This will happen a lot. The magazine on your chest may be gone randomly. The host will have to come up and grab it and suddenly it appears. Something in your bag may disappear. When your co-op player shoots, their gun's going to be pointing in a random direction. In fact, as the host, if the co-op player is shooting, you can't hear them shooting at all. What you were actually hearing there is not a suppressed weapon, but the sounds of the guns going through my co-op partner's headset mic because the gunshots are so loud you can't turn them down. The co-op player's artifact finder does not work for them. The co-op player can't even pick up artifacts even if it did. The co-op player will constantly crash upon loading. The co-op player will constantly die upon loading, as I said. The co-op player can't use the shop in any way whatsoever. Only the host can buy things. Oh, and the funniest one, the co-op player leaving mid-firefight breaks the game's AI entirely. They just stop trying to kill you. I'm just gonna charge in and see how long it takes me to die. I have no health.
Watch you kill like 5 of them before you die. Or all of them. Alright,
They're
well,
not aggro at me. The heck? Like, literally none of them are mad at me. Are you watching this?
Yeah.
Something about you quitting out just broke their AI.
That's fucking hilarious.
Like, what?
I know networking is hard, but to say this is a work in progress is an understatement. It effectively is not functional at all. Needless to say, I could not recommend Into the Radius 2 at the moment. It's just way too broken, even for an early access game, and it should not be $40 in this state. Come back in maybe a year, and hopefully it'll be an amazing experience. I want this video to age like milk. I'm really hoping for it, because I loved the first game. But as of right now, don't spend $40 on it. It's not worth it. Well, that sucked, but I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. I want to give a huge thanks to my YouTube members. They get to see all my videos at least a week ahead of time, sometimes a month ahead of time. Right next to the subscribe button, and also subscribe if you enjoyed this content. You're still here, so you probably did. You can see more of my other videos if you look over on that side of the screen. You can subscribe and do all that stuff if you look at that side. You can look at my Twitch over there. I stream all the time if you want to come follow that. You can find me on Twitter, JarekTheGamingDragon. I tweet nonsense pretty often. It's not X.